Good morning, class. I'm so glad we all got together today. You remember a few weeks ago, Ms. Davis informed us about one-step equations, and we've been working on those, and we're ready to go to the next step, which is two-step equations. But before we do that, we need to go over some vocabulary. And some of the vocabulary we had with one-step equations, sorry, I'm on the wrong side, was variable. And a variable is a letter that represents a number in an equation or an expression. Then we have inverse or inverse operation. Inverse operation is just operations that do the opposite of each other. In other words, addition is the opposite of subtraction. They undo each other. And multiplication and division are opposites. So it's that inverse operation. A constant is that number that just stands by itself. Stands on its own. It's good, it can do, it just stands there, no big deal. Our new term today is coefficient. A coefficient is a number that multiplies a variable. So in other words, if you had 3x, x is your variable, 3 is your coefficient. 3 is going to multiply by x, okay? So, let's just jump right in and go with the problem. And you have these in your book, your math notebook that you can refer back to, but I'm also going to give you some other terms for these to help you remember the process as we go. So our first equation is 3x plus 2 equals 11. And the first thing we want to do is draw a line down so we show when we do our equals, it continues down, okay? So we've got that. So we have our coefficient, our variable, and our constant. When we did the one-step equations, Ms. Davis taught us that we want to get rid of the constant first. And to do that, we use the inverse operation. The inverse operation, or opposite, is minus. So we're going to take 2 minus 2. And if you remember our little video we watched, the wrap, what you do to one side, you do to the other side. So we've got a minus 2 from 11. So we do that, those cancel out. 11 minus 2 is 9. Then we bring down our 3x equals 9. Then our next step is we've got to get rid of the coefficient. Well, this is multiplied, so what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. Okay, so we're going to divide 3x by the coefficient, by 3, and what we do to one side, we do to the other side. So we divide 9 by 3, these cancel out. 9 divided by 3 is 3, so x equals 3 is your answer. Now, it's always a good idea to check that. So if we take 3 and put it in for x, we've got 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 equals 11. There we go. That's a two-step equation. Now we're going to take a few minutes and we're going to go over a couple more of these, and then we'll come back and I'll show you some other things we can do. So take a few minutes and do your stuff on your paper, and we'll come back. Okay, class, if I can have your attention again. I've gone around. All of you are kind of getting the idea, but you're struggling a little bit. So I'm going to give you a little help as to what you can do. So we're going to have a new equation, 5x plus 7 equals 27. Now I'm going to tell you a little story that will help you remember the process. So once again, we have our variable, our coefficient, who works together with the variable as a co-worker kind of thing, and then we have our constant. But let's look at it a different way. Let's put a story to it. You're an autograph hound, and you want a celebrity's autograph. Well, in this equation, we're going to make the variable the celebrity, okay? So, x is our celebrity. Who does a celebrity have standing next to him all the time? They have a bodyguard, okay? So we've got our bodyguard and our celebrity. They're always together, okay? Then we have the people out here standing on their own. Who's usually watching? The crowd. The crowd's looking for that celebrity or watching that singer or whoever it is. So this is our crowd. Our constant is our crowd. Our variable is our celebrity, and our coefficient is our bodyguard. Well, when we're doing an equation like this, and this is our crowd, and celebrity and bodyguard, who do you have to go through first to get to the celebrity? You have to go through the crowd. So what do we want to get rid of first? The crowd. We want to get rid of the crowd. So the opposite of addition is subtraction. So we're going to minus 7, and we're going to minus 7. We're going to bring our equals all the way down. So 7 minus 7 cancels out. 27 minus 7 is 20. So 5x equals 20. So we got rid of the crowd, so we're really close. We've just got to get through that bodyguard now to get to the celebrity to get our autograph. So how are we going to get rid of the bodyguard? Okay, I don't need any smart comments, you guys, of how we're going to get rid of the bodyguard. How can we get rid of the bodyguard? We have to divide, because the opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide by 5. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. We divide by 5. These cancel out, bring down the x, put in our equal. 20 divided by 5 is 4. So x equals 4. So we have our celebrity by itself and what the celebrity represents. So we need to check our answer. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 7 is 27. And if you can't do it in your head, you can write it out. 5 times 4 plus 7 equals, and then you fill in equals whatever, and you fill in your answer, 27. So that's a little story we're going to use to help us remember the process of the order of operations. Okay, so we're going to do a few more on the board, and we're going to do them together. I may even have a couple of you come up and do it. Then we're going to work with our partners and do them as a partner group. And then tonight you'll have some homework. I know, homework's terrible, but tonight you're going to have some homework, and we're going to do it. And then tomorrow, don't worry, we're not, we're just getting into this, so it's going to take some time. So let's do a few more problems, and we'll get going.